Are you a McKinsey, BCG, or Bain consultant? Do you struggle with performance and development? Do you want to become a confident and successful consultant? If your answer is yes, this video is for you. Today, we will discuss why you struggle and how you can stop that. I will walk you through the steps of my coaching approach. You will take away practical techniques to achieve quick wins so you can kickstart your transformation today. And I'm going to share a time-tested methodology I used to coach dozens of MBB consultants. My name is Rustem Karimov. I used to be an associate partner at McKinsey. I joined consulting at 34 as an experienced hire, and I have worked at McKinsey for 9 years. This year, I left McKinsey, and now I help MBB consultants to become high-performing, confident, and successful, mainly in two ways. First, I write a newsletter called Distinctive Plus with over 1,000 subscribers. Second, I run my coaching program, Hero's Journey, where I help more than 30 MBB consultants to transform and achieve their goals. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It massively helps to share this video with more people who might need it. Let's start with the ultimate goal in mind. I assume you want to be successful, you want to transform, and you want to go from zero to hero. Zero state is your current state. You struggle with performance, you don't have enough supporters, and you don't have enough staffing options. As a result, you feel stressed and anxious all the time. In contrast, in the hero state, you demonstrate high performance. Partners want to be friends with you. They offer you many staffing options. You work on exciting projects with the best leadership. As a result, you acquire unique experiences and expertise. You feel confident. Your toxic stress goes away. When you achieve your hero state, you can achieve your full potential in consulting. Okay, how are we doing so far? Please stay tuned. Just to remind you, next we will discuss a few important things. The main reason for your mistakes and struggles, a reliable system to get your consulting toolkit in shape, a 3-stage transformation journey to get to your hero state, and finally, a few quick wins to kickstart your transformation today. Let's continue. And I know what you think. From your position, achieving your hero state looks impossible. And I feel your pain. It's really hard to be you in your situation. You work in a reactive mode, you have hundreds of tasks, and you're always behind on everything. You work 14, 16 hours per day. You simply don't have time to think. But your managers are always unhappy with you. They are disappointed, impatient, and toxic. This makes you extremely stressed and anxious. You don't know how to improve the situation. There are simply no more hours in a day you can work, and you feel tired and burned out all the time. Do you know why all this happens to you? And most importantly, what can you do to break this vicious cycle? Let's discuss this next. To explain this, I like to use the concept of flywheels. And the first flywheel I want to introduce to you is an impact flywheel. It's about the project work you do day to day. And the impact flywheel has the negative and the positive cycles. How does it work? Let's take an example. One simple task. Imagine your manager asks you to create a dummy deck for a new document. It can be a workshop, proposal, or client discussion. And I'm sure you know how we typically create dummy decks. You reuse some of the library pages that you can find. For new pages, you put action titles on blank pages. And you write comments on stickers explaining what content you plan to create. As a result, you create a 10-15 page document, and you bring this Frankenstein document to your manager. And to your big surprise, your manager reacts negatively. But objectively, it's a messy document. It seems like a random set of pages. Your manager doesn't understand your thinking. As a result, he gives you lots of random comments. You feel treated unfairly. It's not your fault, right? You've done exactly what you were asked to do. But your manager is upset. He loses trust in you. He doubts that you can do this work. As a result, he places more constraints on you. He gives you smaller chunks of work, makes deadline tighter. Basically, he micromanages you. You arrive at the second iteration, and you find yourself in a much worse situation than you started with. You have to do stupid work of fixing the comments. Most importantly, you have a very skeptical manager who is harder to impress now. Whatever you do, he will take it for granted. But if you make more mistakes, he will make a big fuss out of it. Congratulations, you officially kickstarted the negative cycle. You win fun prizes like crazy hours, sour relationships with your leaders, and damaged reputation. Remember, a few seconds ago, we asked ourselves why you ended up in such a difficult situation. Most likely, you are very deep in a downward spiral of spinning negative cycles many times. The more you spin it, the harder to get out of it. it becomes a vicious cycle. In my coaching program, when we discuss this moment, I ask consultants to remember a few examples of the negative cycle. And they can remember countless of situations. Often they can remember specific tasks and specific moments when it happens to them. When they lost the trust of their managers. And it's quite sad and symptomatic of the experienced juniors consultants have. They live in a never-ending negative cycle without having any hope for success. Does this resonate with you? Please share your experience in the comments below. What is a positive cycle and how does it work? Let's take the same example. But instead of doing random pages, you create a few high-quality ones. First, you create a good structure on one page. You write a list of action titles for all pages you plan to create. This way, your manager can see the full picture at once without flipping through dozens of pages, so he doesn't get distracted by random things. You add a few high-quality deep dives. They're insightful and relevant, and you don't create dummy pages. You bring this document to your manager, and your manager says, "Oh wow, this looks fantastic. I like the structure, I like the deep dives." He adds a few helpful comments. You have a smart conversation, but your manager feels pretty good about the progress. Now he can use that document for a discussion with a partner or a client. This is what your manager really needs at this point. As a result, you score a win. It's not a big one, but you've done something right and helpful. Your manager starts trusting you more. He thinks, "Wow, this consultant is impressive. I should give him more important tasks." As a result, you get new opportunities. It can be a more interesting task or a priority one with more leadership exposure. Your manager gives you more autonomy. Now you can focus on your next win. That's how you kickstart the positive cycle. If you spin the positive cycle many times, you create more impact. Leaders will trust you more. They will want to help you. It's basic reciprocity. This will lead to better relationship and stronger sponsorships. That's how you achieve high performance and build your confidence. The impact flywheel is an important concept. It illustrates how your work affects your performance on an atomic level. Now you can focus your effort on the most impactful actions and techniques. It's a much better development system than working on generic feedback. So next time you are about to execute a task, think carefully. Are you about to spin the negative cycle? Or you want to push yourself to kickstart a positive one? If you ask yourself these questions, you start seeing opportunities around you to do your job much better. In the impact flywheel, stopping the negative cycle must be your highest priority. It has the same urgency and damage if you are bleeding from your artery. You must stop it right away. You don't have a lot of time. That is why I grouped critical skills and techniques into stop the productivity bleeding lever, and later we will discuss what exactly you can do there. Once you stabilize and stop your bleeding, then you can focus on kickstarting your positive cycle. And here are the levers to do that: impactful problem solving, build leadership trust, and high impact prioritization. And don't worry, later we will discuss what they mean as well. The second important flywheel is the career flywheel. It's all about staffing, evaluations, networking, and sponsorships. All the firm politics you love so much. But this is a necessary evil you must learn to become successful. If you notice, the impact flywheel is an important part of the career flywheel. It's the engine at the center of everything you do. How does it work? So imagine you've done great project work. You were spinning the impact flywheel many times, and you've built a great reputation in the eyes of your partners. In consulting, reputation spreads very quickly, whether it's positive or negative. If it's positive, your partners will promote and advocate for you. They will expand your network. Consequently, your network will create opportunities for you, mostly in the form of staffing, so you can steer your career by choosing the right projects. You choose the right industry, function, practice, location, and even group of people you want to work with. If you play it right, you will have better projects with better topics, leaders, and clients. Then it will be much easier to perform well in the favorable conditions. That's how you keep your career flywheel spinning. It takes time to kickstart, but once it's moving, it's very powerful. But be careful. The career flywheel also works in a negative way. If your reputation is not good, then your network will know it. You will not have many staffing opportunities, or you get only the bad ones nobody wants. You risk falling into the dungeons of your firm, where bad leaders and terrible projects operate. Then it becomes impossible to perform well. Believe me, you don't want to end up there. So we get these two flywheels together, and we have a reliable system for your development. This is how it works. You must spin these two flywheels at the same time. And you spin them if you are an BA, an associate, or an EM. It doesn't matter what your role is. It's just your level of proficiency will increase over time, and you can achieve higher productivity and impact. This becomes the core of your toolkit. This is the absolute bare minimum you must master to become successful. On the left-hand side, we have levers on the impact flywheel. Stop the productivity bleeding, build leadership trust, impactful problem solving, and high impact prioritization. On the right-hand side, we have levers for the career flywheel. Manage your journey, staffing, performance reviews, networking, and sponsorship. Don't worry, we will decipher this later. For now, you need to understand the main structure and rationale. Later, I will share a more detailed breakdown of these main skills. Now, let's link this system to your zero to hero journey. If you spin impact and career flywheels, you can go through a 3-stage transformation. The first stage is stabilize. You learn basic motions. You eliminate basic mistakes. You prevent unnecessary iterations. You improve your productivity. Leaders stop providing you negative feedback. Your reputation improves. You can work. You have projects. This is already a good place to be in. If you were in a huge pain before, you will feel like you've taken powerful painkillers. At this stage, you will focus mostly on the stop the productivity bleeding skills. But achieving this stage is not enough to be successful. The second stage is accelerate. The harsh reality is that good work is not enough for MBB firms. Everyone is smart. Everyone works hard. So you need to stand out. You must learn to win and impress, over-deliver and exceed expectations. And the bar is quite high. You must impress partners. And it's difficult to do. They've seen a lot. But to be honest, you don't need many wins. You need 1 or 2 per project. Then that's what your leaders will remember, and that's what they will tell your evaluator. At this stage, you will focus on spinning your positive cycle, learning skills of impactful problem solving, building leadership trust, and high impact prioritization. The third stage is outperform. At this stage, you achieve consistency in high performance, no matter the circumstances, bad projects, poor leadership, and nasty clients. You still can do fantastic work. That's when you get to a distinctive rating, the highest rating in your firms. At this stage, you learn to orchestrate all the critical skills to achieve highest impact. Another secret at this stage, I teach consultants manager toolkit, so they can get 2-3 steps ahead of their managers. Then you will look like a genius to them. On average, it takes 6 to 12 months to go through this journey. Later, I will explain how my coaching program, Hero's Journey, can help you to accelerate the journey. Okay, now I hope you have a better structure for your development in your mind. But I know you want specifics. You want tangible things you can implement now. So let's focus on the highest priority skills for you. Stop the productivity bleeding. Let's get more practical and tactical. To explain how it works, let's focus on the most granular unit of work you do, individual task. When you execute any task, you do these 3 basic steps. Accept tasks, prioritize your time, and produce outputs. And because you repeat these basic motions again and again, dozens of times per week, any disbalance and mistakes in this process will lead to serious problems in your operating model and damage the reputation. Where do you think consultants make mistakes? Correct, at every step of this process. Often they make mistakes in all the steps at the same time. It's actually surprising how we can get things done with such an effective approach. So what usually happens is that consultants misunderstand expectations and end up solving the wrong problems. It's extremely embarrassing and damaging to your reputation. Then they don't allocate enough time to critical content tasks, so they spread themselves too thin. And finally, they produce ugly outputs because they were trained to work in iterations. As a result, they trigger lots of comments from their managers. This leads to unnecessary iterations. And unnecessary iterations kill productivity because each new iteration kills hours and hours of your time doing the work that could have been avoided. So for us, reducing the number of iterations becomes the biggest lever for improving your productivity. Another big problem is that your leaders provide feedback only on your outputs. They say, this slide is wrong, redo it in this way. But they don't explain why. They don't teach you how to prevent your mistakes and how to improve your processes. As a result, we do so many iterations to fix symptoms instead of fixing root causes of your mistakes. That is why you need so many reps to learn the problem solving and slide making skills. This is an extremely ineffective way of learning. Instead, you must find the root causes of your mistake in your processes and eliminate them. Okay, now when you understand the anatomy of this process, we can define tactical things to improve your toolkit. If you eliminate the most basic mistakes, your system gets uncluttered. radically improving your productivity. And you can see these tactical things for each step of this process on the screen. So you can use this approach for better learning. Every time your task doesn't go too well, make a post-mortem analysis. Check where you made a mistake. Did you ask the right questions? Did you spend enough time? Did you problem solve sufficiently? And did you produce quality outputs? If you learn from your own experience, you generate high quality reps instead of low quality ones you usually have. This becomes your cheat code for accelerated development. And because you stop the negative cycle by doing that, in your impact flywheel, which is at the center of everything you do, your whole operating model improves. And finally, let's discuss some quick wins. They are low-hanging fruits. You don't need months of experience to do them. You can decide to do them right now. The first one is understand expectations. Make sure you really understand what you asked to do. Sounds obvious, but many consultants don't ask clarifying questions when they accept tasks. As a result, they don't get enough information to produce high-quality outputs. That's why they need a second iteration to get that information. Instead, ask clarifying questions, play back your understanding, paraphrase and summarize to ensure you got it right. And then propose your own approach and outputs. Align on them and catch silly mistakes early in the process. The second one is stop producing ugly slides. Every high performer knows ugly slides create new stupid work. And you can't afford that. You can't multiply work for yourself. You already have a lot of work. Strive to make client-ready slides. Move from MVP to MLP approach, from minimal viable product to minimal lovable product. It doesn't mean you must spend too much time obsessed with design and visuals. Just don't make ugly slides. And the third one is make time for yourself to think. Again, another obvious thing, but many consultants don't do that. They work in a reactive mode. The quality of thinking drops. They jump straight to execution with the first idea in their head. But often our first ideas are not the greatest ones. Another thing is don't stop at the obvious answer. Push yourself to find insight, interesting framing, or extra impact. Think about bigger business problem context, not the actual tactical task you were asked to do. Right? Make an ambition for yourself. Always push your work beyond what is expected from you. Sometimes you miss the mark, but at times when you hit it, you'll get a disproportionate return. Focus on these practices and you will realize quick wins. Your productivity starts improving. You might have some time saved. You'll have a breather and you can focus on learning more complex skills. Of course, in this short session, I couldn't teach you all the nitty-gritty of each skill and technique. And my mission for today was to give you a reliable system of how to think about your development. If you want to learn more, I suggest you to visit my website, distinctive.plus. There you can find more detailed guides for each skill we discussed today. You can use the pinned post Zero to Hero to navigate and find all the critical skills you need. But what if you don't have time and need the impact fast? I get this question a lot from consultants. They want to transform as fast as possible because their pain is unbearable and they don't have much time. Their situation can deteriorate very quickly. And learning these skills takes time. It's hard to apply them in practice at the right level and depth. So if you want to accelerate your development, I have a solution for you. Introducing to you the Hero's Journey coaching program for MBB consultants. So you can transform from struggling, stressed, and lost to high-performing, confident, and fulfilled. The best way to think about it is what and how. Today we discuss systems, concepts, and techniques. This is your what. I also write a lot about what on my website, distinctive.plus. But the implementation can be tricky, and my coaching program helps with how. You learn to apply these techniques most effectively to achieve your full potential. And the Hero's Journey program has 4 key elements: the playbook, practical exercises, community, and mentorship. Let's discuss them one by one. First, we start with the playbook. This is a collection of the most important skills and techniques you need to know to succeed. And dozens of consultants have tested and refined them. Now, when you know the concept of impact and career flywheels, you recognize the 4 chapters of this playbook. And each chapter has more detailed video lessons for each important skill. Think of it as a new operating model you need to download into your brains. But the playbook is not enough to make an impact. You need to put these theories into practice. And this is typically where consultants struggle. That is why we have practical exercises. They are real life tasks. I took them from my consulting work, of course sanitized. So they allow us to practice the full spectrum of your skills, right? For example, you will practice accepting tasks, implementing routines and processes, improving problem solving, improving your slide making, and presentation skills, presenting your content, right? Also, it allows you to understand where the quality bar lies, like what is a great output looks like, and calibrate your performance against the other members of the group. The other two elements of the program are community and mentorship. So the first one is community. Now we have more than 30 MBB consultants in the program. This number grows every month. So these people go through the same journey you are going through. So you can learn from their mistakes and best practices, and you can calibrate your performance. Basically, you increase your learning data points from just one yourself to many others. Think of it as having a call a friend option. And I've been in your shoes. I can understand your pain and what are you going through, right? But also, I've been in the leadership roles as well. So I understand their perspective and optics of how they see you. And you can ask me any burning questions in a risk-free environment. I can help you navigate sensitive situations. Consulting is full of sensitive situations. It can be a conflict, toxic leadership, and challenging staffing conversation. And finally, I can sanity check your big decisions, so you avoid making wrong turns in your consulting journey. How much time does it take? This is the most common question I get. Understandably, consultants are extremely busy. That is why this is a fully self-paced program. It is designed to coach you at your own pace and availability. It doesn't have any expiration date. Once you join the program, you will get access to all the learning assets for life. You can watch the playbook videos on your own time. You can do as many practical exercises as you can. You can park them and pick them up later if you want. On average, it takes 6 to 8 weeks for active learning to complete all the exercises. Then you get community and mentorship support throughout your consultant and manager journey. Does this really work? Yes, it does. I started this program a few months ago, and we have already seen amazing impact for several clients. Here are just a few examples. In 6 months, they achieved amazing results, right? Some people moved from good to great, from doing okay to becoming high performers. We also have people who were in grave danger, right? And now they stabilized and feel pretty good. So you can visit the testimonial page and see what people say. But for me, the best way to build trust with you is to share what I know and how I think. So I write my newsletter, sharing the best practices and spoken rules, and also recording video like this so you can see and then you can make a decision. That's it for today. If you are an MBB consultant and you are sick of struggling with performance and development, and you want to get the coaching support, I would like to speak with you. Book a call for us to chat. We will discuss your current challenges and we determine our mutual fit. You can ask any questions in a risk-free environment, and I will do my best to help you if I can. To book a call, click on the button under this video or ping me in DM. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Good luck.